Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with episode 37 of Macross 7. I don't know the name of the episode. How about you go ahead and give us a
The name of
recap?
the episode is this last episode was Men's Passionate Song. Essentially, in this episode, the pursuit after Sybil ends. Bazareth and Giggle are pursuing Sybil, and Mylene and Gambling are pursuing Bazareth. There's still Basara was like, oh, we have Sound Force, but Sound Force is not really cutting it. It has to be Basara or anything, right? Even Pomo says, hey, it has to be Basara. I don't know why it works, but it works. Basara finds essentially a cloud of pyroclastic cloud being ejected by this. Oh, he has a dream or a vision of himself as a child in front of this giant mountain and a figure atop of the mountain. Then he turns into an adult and he's trying to sing, but he can't. Nothing is coming out. He wakes up, takes off to find wherever this vision is, finds his cloud, is like, aha, there's a cloud. I'm just going to go right through it, which was very stupid. He nearly crashes. He gets onto the island, turns to be a volcano, finds Giggle. Giggle and him is like, I'm going to go there first. No, you're going to go first. Meanwhile, Mylene and so many G's Gambling are searching for them, right? And so we see at top of this mountain this giant figure of or projection of Sybil or Shibble. What's that?
Sivil.
Yeah, and it seems to be creating this situation where there's lava and everything else. After tossing around, Giggle and Basara work together to get to Sybil, including sacrificing both of their machines. She's sinking into the ground and destroying the island somehow. She's pretty powerful, so probably that's what's happening, I think. Giggle jumps after her. It's like, Shibble, whatever you can, And of course, Basara, after exhausting everything else, which is usually nothing other than following them, goes, I gotta sing. So he sings. That leads Gamblin and Mylene to detect his singing, find the island, right? And also for finally Sybil to wake up. We see this image of this, the collapsing volcano into the sea. Like, oh, they're not gonna survive. But then we hear Basara singing, and this bright light, and these ruins or something, a temple or something coming out of the waters, and that's the episode.
I mean, I would argue there's not that many G names.
Yeah.
Well, we have what? Grabble and Gabble, Giggle and Gamlin.
Gamblin.
And Gamlin's the one who's the first from the naming convention. Because, I mean, everything else is like an ill nows, right? Like Grabble,
Yeah.
Giggle,
Yeah.
Civil, Gabble. I said Gabble.
Geppernick.
Yeah, well, I said everybody else. I didn't say everybody else.
Yeah, yeah.
And we already know Lord Geppernick is the one in charge. Oh, you meant G names. Okay, I thought you were saying the naming convention. It's like,
obviously. And Lord Geppernick tells us at the beginning of the episode something is going to happen between Giggle and Sybil. It's like, oh, okay.
The way I remember Civil all the time is just I think of Civil as in civil, Civil, civil.
Yeah,
and that she's just civil though. Well, I can tell you're having a hard time with her name, so I'm just trying to.
I mean, there's so many names I'm trying to keep because they're all alien-like names, so they're like supposed to be these alien names, and I'm like,
well, that's what I mean. The vast majority of them have a scheme. Giggle.
No.
They all have like whatever their name starts with, it ends with, except for I guess Civil, which is a V sound in the middle of it. And the one that escapes me all the time because we don't hear his name that much is like Vorgel or Vogel or something like that.
Vogel, I think.
Yeah, he's the weird one out. Plus, I haven't heard his name a lot. Everyone else I've kind of gotten in here because the only two that are really confusing is Grabble and Gabble because they're just like the same fucking name. But
And they're always together anyway,
the idea though is
or nearly.
Brabble has technical arms, so he's like in there. His name is in there. All right. Well, yeah. If you got anything else to say, or go ahead and go into it.
Yeah, we're gonna go into this episode called "The Mystery of the Ruins?" Question mark.
Yeah. Where we saw Fulmo showing up. So I guess let's go ahead and get into it.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
on top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
Unfiltered.
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
The song is catchy, but it's
Oh, yeah, no.
none of my favorites.
I mean, it's certainly an earworm.
Yeah.
But again, I've already stated this is like my genre of music, so
I mean, I'm a more electronic. I mean, I don't hate rock. I like it, but I'm a more electronic,
yeah.
dance music kind of
You
guy.
brought
So.
you bought the Macross Plus soundtrack. You've already damned yourself in my eyes.
Okay.
You said you liked that music. That was bad. That was bad music.
The customer is always right in matters of taste.
Oh, thank God you put the end on it. Say how many people actually misquote that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not shopping from me, so
Oh, but I've shot for myself. Which means
yeah,
I'm right.
sure. Yeah, I'm saying that you're not shopping from me, so which means your opinion is shit.
To you.
Yes. At the end of the day, whose opinion matters the most is to themselves. So, yeah. Which works great for you if you're defending your opinion, but works great for me when I say that your taste in music is bad. Look, Sharon Apple did not win the poll. So I'll throw that out there.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, we're back to this? I guess, yeah.
I think
Well,
they decided to randomly throw a dart at what they wanted to say at the beginning of an episode. I think it would be great if they showed a bit of the movie here. You know, the ruins?
マクロス7船団シティ7の市長ミリアはマイクロン化したゼントラーディである。バトル7艦長のマクシミリアンは地球人なので、2人の間に生まれたミレーヌは両方の血を併せ持つ子供だ。ちなみにファイヤーボンバーのドラマービヒーダは
This is literally gotten this very specific amount of information before.
さらに東洋軍の参謀として活躍している
Bees.
に至ってはマイクロン化
If
He does feast.
We've talked about it before. Yeah, I mean, we got her whole name on the board.
We're jumping right into this.
Good. Well, not even that. We had a whole recap just a second ago.
Yeah.
Also, where the hell's the walkway go? Because they're in the middle of the ocean.
I don't know.
Also, the fact his songs are all in English.
Okay.
Are we gonna fucking explore the temple and just not...
Okay.
Well, they went off to do something interesting. Time to figure out the
guess.
temple.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was wondering how he was flying.
エクセドル参謀、そろそろ話してくれてもいいのではないかね。君はなぜガムリン隊から報告を受けた遺跡にこだわる？ マクロスセブン船団が地球を飛び立って以来、一度としてバトルセブンの
To be
外
fair,
に
where
出
are you gone?
なぜ自らの目で遺跡を確かめてみたいというのだね。
ある予感が今はそうとしか言いようがありませんな。
君はかつてゼントラーディの参謀として活躍し、昔の数多くのデータも把握している。海から現れた遺跡に一体何を感じたのだ。
もしも私の予測が当たっていれば、我々のそして地球人の祖先の謎が
I think I'm right
重要
about the
な
ruins
デー
thing.
タを入手できるかもしれません。
Yeah.
祖先の謎が解ける重要なデータ。
それは
So this has to be proto-culture
人類
then.
の祖先であり、我ら
Yeah, I mean, it would imply that the people who settled on Earth were the people that the Zentradi and the Supervision Army killed.
プロトカルチャーがこの中域で生きていたらしい。私が把握するデータの一部にはそうありましてな。以前より気にかかっていたわけであります。
人類の祖先と言われているあのプロトカルチャーか。
おお、これはまさしくプロトカルチャーの遺跡。
Oh, what, just grass suddenly grow? What the hell?
Yes.
I enjoy this show a lot because no matter how flippant I am about anything, I always end up right. Which is all I can ask. Well, I said, I think this is like the ruins from the movie. It's like the fucking ruins from the movie.
I mean, that was an entire city. Seems to be smaller.
The city was made up of smaller ones of these, which is what I was indicating. Except that those were
And
more
homes.
ruined.
惑星ゲーゲー邸に不思議な建造物が。
建造物だ。これはプロトカルチャーの遺跡。
I love that fucking thing in the middle of their screen.
まずい、この遺跡は。夢は実現せねば意味がない。直ちに遺跡を消滅せよ。
We can't let the audience know what's going on.
マサラのやつ、どこをほっつき歩いているのやら。
Bought
she got a new
one, I
radio.
guess.
I mean, mostly those cheap radios, boom boxes from the 90s, so I guess.
Well, I don't know. Boomboxes of the 90s
100?
were still over-the-shoulder things.
No, that was the 80s.
No, I'm pretty sure that's early 90s.
80s. Trust me, it was.
Trust you. We're both almost the same age, I think.
Oh, yeah.
How old are you?
Old.
Like, I'm 40s, so...
彼らと離れない方がいい。
Okay, I'm Atari 2600 old.
Yeah, I had one. Well, no, I had a, Sorry. I'm not thinking Atari, I'm thinking, computers. But my, brain just frazzled again. Commodore 64. Sorry, my brain wouldn't get in there.
壁画です。
That too? My first computer.
Yeah, I used to go to a friend's house to play an Atari, but I didn't say the number when we...
プロトカルチャーの歴史を綴ったものですな。参謀、あれは文字では。プロトカルチャー文字。
I think I saw that in Full Metal Alchemist.
ゼントラーディ文字とほぼ文字の構図が同じだ。エッグチャータ、デラータ、エットプロトカルチャー。誇り高き我らは宇宙に生息するあまたの生命体の中で初めて文化を持った種族である。故に我らは自らをプロトカルチャーと名付けし。
プロトカルチャ
A weird thing
ー。
to
宇宙で
say.
初めて文化を持った生命体。
我らプロトカルチャーは緑多き大地に生まれ育ち、小さな集落を形成し、木の実を取り魚を釣り、平和に暮らしてきた。やがて鉄器を開発し、農耕器具を作り、他を耕し始めた頃には種族が増え、領土が2つのエリアに分かれ始めていった。
It's also weird that you would start your,
商業が発達し、政治経済文化などあらゆる面で
story before the
交流を持つようになった。
Bronze Age.
I mean, if it's a mythological story about their myth
no.
of creation, I guess.
I don't think it is. It's like, these are the people themselves. Like, imagine if this was written on the Voyager probe.
2つの勢力に分かれて争いが起こった。そして戦火は次第に全宇宙へ拡大していった。我が種族は自らの手を汚さず、相手を倒すべく互いに巨大な戦闘用兵士ゼントラーディを作った。兵器は次第にエスカレートし、ゼントラーディ兵士より強力な新たなる兵士エビルを作った。
The evil. The Proto-Delvin?
So the proto-culture created the proto-devlin. Or the devlin. No, the proto-devlin would have created the evil. Well, I don't know. The naming structure is already fucking with me.
戦いは激しく長きにわたった。
愚かな。これが我ら人類の
Unless we're calling the Supervision Army evil.
Guess so.
Because they said they split in two. So my first thought was maybe that the proto-culture and the proto-devlin are the split off of the proto-culture. And thus it would be the Zentradi and evil is what they're saying. So the evil would be the Supervision Army.
We were eventually destroyed by the Proto-Devlin.
参謀、私たちの祖先を滅ぼしたのはプロトデビルンということなのですか？
おそらくな。
Did that thing I just said?
悪魔のような存在と言われている。
Not by me, I don't mean me. I mean that he said that out loud and then Gamblin just asked the same question.
どこからやってきたんだ？別の宇宙から突然現れたっていうのか？
おそらくこの先に手がかりが。
Ugh, that thing FOMO apparently does.
Yeah, that's from the movie.
I hate movie. I hate movie version of him. I went
Well,
the
it is
little
the
red
movie.
guy.
平和の証たるもの、触れれば扉開かれん。
平和の証たるもの。
この言葉に何かの鍵が隠されているに違いありませんな。
You gotta sink to it.
Well, it says sign of peace, so, you know, hold two fingers up to it.
開きませんな。
下がって。待て。危険だ。
Don't fire it. You idiot, you're...
I mean, I'd be more pissed if I was FOMO, because I'm a giant. I'm the biggest target here.
Zentradi blood?
No, it's Mylene's blood.
I know, but she's half Zentradi.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's
Is that the
half,
sa-
I
is
mean,
that-
she's half human, though, as well. And
Yeah,
if
so
they're
is
the
that the sign of
ancestors of the
peace?
humans, yeah. I don't think it's the Zentradi blood. I think it's the human blood.
I mean, but the fact that they're mixed could be the sign of peace, right? That they brought... The only way the Zentradi and the humans would be together is because
Yeah,
they
no,
brought
no,
some
I
kind of
get you.
peace.
That makes sense, too. So in a sense, shooting the door actually
ま
worked.
さかプロトカルチャー。
プロトカルチャー。これが。
我はプロトカルチャーの残ししことの葉を蓄え、後の世に伝えるを役目とし、ここに眠るものなり。
どうやら起こしてしまったようですな。これは。
平和の証たるもの触れれば、扉は開き、我を眠りから呼び覚ますものなり。
一体平和の証たるものとは。
異種族の血の混じり合いし者、すなわち平和
Yep,
の
that's what I said.
I mean, that's not true either,
血
though.
の混じり合いし者。
There's plenty of violence that can be had that causes a mixed blood person to be...
平和の証た
Just
るもの
saying.
とは。
なるほど。マックス艦長とミリア市長の子、すなわち地球人とゼントラーディから生まれた平和の象徴。
この時が来るのを待っていた。平和を司る者たちよ。時空の歪みより異次元のエネルギー体が戦闘兵
A
士
warp in
エリーを
space time. Back to the time travel.
その異次元のエネルギーは悪魔のような存在となった。我々はそれをプロトデビルンと呼んだ。
プロトデビルン。
Yeah, we get it, FOMO. We're scared.
プロトカルチャーの遺跡を粉砕せよ。これぞ徹底的な破壊日。
プロトデビルはあらゆる銀河の生き物のスピリチアを奪い取った。彼らはスピリチアがなければ生きていけぬ存在なのだ。
スピリチ
俺たちを襲っているのは
プロトデビルはあまりにも無造作にスピリチアを乱獲した。そのためスピリチアを持つ生き物が減少し、宇宙からスピリチアが絶えかけた。プロトデビル
It's literally Stargate Atlantis.
Yeah.
These are the Atlanteans.
プロトデビルンは自らスピリチュアを生み出せぬわけか。
スピリチアを喪失したプロトデビル以降力を弱めた。さらにある神秘なる力がプロトデビルンを封じ込め、長き眠りにつかせた。
封じ込めた。
神秘なる力。
アニマスピリチア。
Like traveling through galaxies right now?
I have no idea.
Looks like we're passing them by.
Yeah.
You know, that one episode of Star Trek where they go past warp 10.
And become salamanders?
No, Star Trek Next Generation, not Voyager.
Oh.
See? You know, the first episode where the Traveler
ア
appears.
ニマスピリチア。
アニマスピリチア。それは
Not gonna be shared with us this episode, it seems.
近づくプロトデビルンは殲滅すべし。近づくアニマスピリチアは迎え入れるべし。アニマスピリチアのあるところ、すなわち反衛星。
Oh, I thought the building was about to destroy them all.
遺跡にバリアが。
敵の攻撃をバリアで防いでおります。
近づくプロトデビルンは殲滅すべし。近づくアニマスピリチアは迎え入れるべし。まさか我々がアニ
So
マ
Mylene
ス
has to
ピリ
sing.
チアという存在とは思えません
Well,
が。
I mean, there's a bunch of people who have Anima Spiritua. We know that from the scans. Flower Girl has Anima Spiritua. Remember, Sybil was going to go after her first.
艦長と市長のおかげと言わねばなりませんな。
どういうことだ。
艦長、エメラルドフォース以下バルキリー隊の発進準備完了しました。
直ちに発進。遺跡防御に当たらせろ。
It was one of the early things I said, that it seems like Anima Spiritua is pretty common. And that a bunch of people in our main cast already have it. It's just that we focus on Basara the most for some reason. But yeah, as you said, Mylene got scanned and she has Anima Spiritua too.
ユラビル、お前の全エネルギーを放出し、バリアを砕き崩せ。奮闘日。
ミレーヌさん、急いで。
Please, go out there with your handguns.
歌うんだ。歌うんだ。
だけど
何を言っているんだ。サウンドフォースだろ。ミレーヌ。
Yeah, if you don't want to sing, go join Jamming Force, whatever the hell they were called. Jamming Birds. But didn't bring the mind control beam with you this time?
Guess not. That's like a heart, I guess.
Oh yeah, remember the hearts are touching?
生意気なグラビルひるむな不屈の闘志で崩せ屈強日何衝撃日しまった
I mean, Grapple also makes me think of Devil Gundam from the end of G Gundam. I was glad that worked out for you.
プロトデビルンを封じ込めるアニマスピリチュアとは一体何だプロトデビルン
Ah, FOMO, you're such a disappointment in the long run.
I don't think he survived that.
Say, granted, I said that, but I didn't want him to die. Okay.
I didn't. Oh, I guess he did. Did they go all the way back again?
I don't know. I think they're at a different planet.
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah.
Why did you travel the universe to come back again?
Well, they could have tried to save the ruins, right?
そのパワーの謎が解ければプロトデビルンを封印する術が見つかったのですがな
では敵はそのパワーの謎が解き明かされることを恐れて遺跡を破壊したと
今やその謎を解くことは
Yeah, it seems pretty once in a lifetime shot to find a proto-culture guy frozen in time.
ガムリンさんさっき私のことミレーヌって初めてねミレーヌって呼んでくれたの
Remember last time she said, stop being so formal, just call me Mylene. What happens when your party's barred? It doesn't understand the situation.
Okay.
Now they split up and they... I don't know where the hell he is, considering they split up over the ocean.
But they're supposed to be in the same island, and I thought that they went back to the ruins, so they must be there.
Again, where'd the grass come from, if that's true?
I don't know.
I don't know. I like this episode more than most. It was...
Yeah, explained a lot. Kind of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of explained a lot. There's still questions. Like, I'm still under the impression that the Proto-Devlin are... Well, one, they're from a different universe?
Yeah, apparently.
Or a different reality or something?
Probably.
Which implies... Oh, yeah, I forgot to check to see if that's Bill Cosby.
That would be interesting.
Well, I mean, they wouldn't know, right? How could you have guessed? My point being is that they created the Zentradi and then the evil. And that the fact that the Proto-Devlin come from a different reality implies that they're not the evil.
Yeah.
And we still have no information on the Supervision Army. So, they're the evil? Because we know that the Proto-Culture created both the Zentradi and the Supervision Army.
And they went to war with each other, and the war destroyed
the Proto-Culture.
The Proto-Culture. So, yeah.
And we know that at least one ruined ship was still out there of the Supervision Army.
ギギルお前はそこまでシビルが好きか
今はどうやって突破するのよ
一緒に歌おうぜ
次回近代惑星のシビル
俺の歌で宇宙が燃えるぜ
Okay. I think what we're doing here is a reverse SDF Macross. Where, you know, the last few episodes of SDF Macross were kind of shit, in my opinion. And the rest of it was kind of really important, except for obviously a few standout examples of not being that important. This is the opposite way. There's a few standout episodes of the main part of the show that are kind of important, and then the ending is really starting to go.
Yeah. Which, again, kind of reinforces that idea that this would have been much better if it had been a much shorter show, but yeah.
But yeah, I still want to see the Supervision Army, and I can see where they would rename themselves. Being called Evil is not that great of a name.
Yeah.
Even though it would have no context outside of English.
I mean, that's a translation from the original language, so I guess, you know. I mean, they would have probably a concept of evil, of wrongness, right? So
why would you create evil? You had to have known they were evil. You named them.
Yeah, but they also mentioned earlier that their race had also split into two, the protoculture, and they traded with each other.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they created the Zentradi by turning themselves into Zentradi, I guess. And I don't know. Obviously, I'm going to come back with notes, so...
Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously, a lot of that just kind of escaped me in the moment. That's why I take the notes. Despite the fact that the comment section on any video does not care. Or will tell me how wrong I am, even in my notes. So, whatever. It's for me.
You gotta do it. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, and I enjoy going over what I think I found out. Because, in a show that you haven't seen, I think it kind of helps you to... kind of put things together or tell me when you think I'm wrong about something you haven't said out loud before. You know, if I come along and say, oh, this is bullshit because of this and this for military reasons, you're going to hit me with what military knowledge you know. And because it's not a conversation we'll have if we just react, because I won't say it out loud because I won't think about it out loud.
Yeah, this is definitely a must-watch episode. I hate the fact that the last thing that he was, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is, and it gets destroyed. But I guess, we have how many episodes left? This is episode
12. You did
37.
The math literally at the start of the episode.
Yeah, so...
Well, you did the math at the end of one of the episodes or the start of one.
Yeah, so we got 12 episodes to go. I guess we need a little bit of more mystery. Although, again, like you ask, where they were I think they just went a big round circle. Like, I'm just going to tour the universe and then come back again because reasons.
I mean, we don't know why they did it either. It's like Sybil did it. It's not like the protoculture guy who was in stasis before, like, sent them off. So, Sybil was like, let me show you the universe.
Although now, I guess you were also right. Remember when you kept saying about Macross Zero that it was space and time? It's like, no, well, space time is jumping. Blah, blah,
no,
blah.
I made that reference during the show too.
Yeah, space and time. So maybe the protoculture explored other time and space things and they discovered the proto-devlin.
I think they said, well, maybe that could be true too. I was about to say, I think they were saying that about the proto-devlin, that the proto-devlin were manipulating space-time, and that's where they come from. In which case, I guess that would make Birdman a proto-devlin.
Not necessarily. It could be an exploration vessel for the protoculture.
Well, again, that assumes that you're right, and I'm saying that's possible. In my opinion, that's possible.
But remember that in Macross Zero, the thing about the Birdman was, are you at peace or are you still warlike? Because if you're warlike, I have to destroy you. But if you're at peace,
the irony there, by the way, I have to commit war if you're warlike. But no, I mean, it might actually make a case for what you said, because if humans are genetically modified by something, and that's his measure for peace, and that is the activation cause for starting up Birdman, Because remember, I also said Birdman was in a vessel, that its cockpit
Yeah.
thing, that its head that's separated is basically a cockpit, and that they do a whole time loop thing and start the whole thing themselves. But because that was the incredulous moment for me, is that Mylene's blood does it, and it's like, how would you know the genetics of something 500,000 years into the future of you? You know, what if we just genetically modified ourselves so much that it looks like a new race?
You're going to hate this, but remember that both in Macross Zero and in the movie, specifically the movie, the city that they found, which is supposed to be a protoculture city, was about 500,000 years old, which means they were present on Earth and would know about the human genome.
Right now, I understand. Well, maybe. Human
Maybe they
genome
maybe
is not 500,000 years old.
I mean, if they interfered with humans at that moment, they would know, right? If they were experimenting with the Homo erectus, perhaps.
How old does our ancestry go? Because they've not been of humans or even human, and well, it depends. We do share a common genetic
I mean,
structure with most of the planet. I mean, if they
humanity is about 2.5 million years old, 2-3 million. I mean, Homo sapiens.
Is it?
I think it's about
That
2.5 million.
Sounds too old.
No, it is. I mean, the thing is that it's about between 6 to 10,000 years for modern humanity coming out of Africa. But before that, we've had Homo sapiens and Homo types, Homo erectus, Homo sapiens, Cro-Magnon, which is another form of Homo sapiens. Well, not technically Homo sapiens.
Current evidence
related to
supports modern Homo sapiens appearing around 1,900
1,000
BCE. Sorry, 190,000 BCE.
That would be Homo. But here's the thing: if what the protoculture did was not create humanity out of anything.
Sorry, that was I guess that was a bad quote. The other one tells me 1.5 million years ago, which is what you were saying.
So and this is interesting because it gets around the whole humans did not evolve on Earth. And I think the whole series so far to watch is that the protoculture didn't invent humanity out of whole cloth like they do in Halo and some other stuff.
Again, it's literally fucking Stargate Atlantis. So, but I don't think it defeats Stargate Atlantis is that we're like the descendants of the Atlanteans because they came here,
which are also human.
Yeah, well, apparently they come from the other galaxy, and we're
sort of.
Yeah, Earth is just like one of their little outpost places that didn't go anywhere. But I mean, it still doesn't defeat my idea that if we genetically modified ourselves, it didn't really matter how much information they had from 500,000 years ago. We could fuck ourselves up genetically.
Yeah, but we haven't.
I'm saying we could have, though. We could modify ourselves to such a point that genetically we would be a different species, and we would just defeat the whole peace thing. You know, how also would they know any two random species wouldn't have made it together? Like, what if we uplifted like dolphins into two other species, and then some, a guy in like some southern part of the world is gonna fuck a dolphin.
Why?
Because Southerners have a habit of doing shit like that. Southern Britain, Southern America, it's fucking Southerners, no matter what continent you're on.
Okay. I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna go there.
If there was one that was gonna fuck a dolphin, I'm gonna say probably Florida. I'm just saying. And
more like the dolphin wants to. Anyway, that just brings a lot of stuff.
Well, dolphins we already know are very horny creatures. I mean, you can watch videos on it. I mean, not even the dolphin explanation, right? If there's some point in human history we're able to like crossbreed humans with animal qualities, right? Already the genetic there is going to show us two different races mixed in one. I'm just saying there's a lot of fuckery you can do when you start getting into genetics. And the fact that we have myclones, which is already put your brain into another body.
I think I don't know if it's putting your brain in our bodies. I think it's really repurposing your body, making it smaller.
Well, we saw in the SDF Macross, there's the container that has the giant body, and then the camera pans down and there's a small body right in there with it. So it's literally either putting your conscious into another body or your brain in another body, which is already like up there with just being able to do the shit I'm talking about. Not that the Zentradi themselves understand how that works, I guess. Unless there's like Fulmos running around who are just know how to work the machines. They obviously don't know how to repair them.
Yeah, but again, here's the thing that we don't have any evidence other than the two species that are compatible, which are Zentradi and humans.
Well,
So
one assumes that if the proto-culture also turned into the evil, that those must be genetically compatible as well. Because they
yeah,
come from the same stock.
yeah.
And then, if you're going to even believe the bullshit from the movie, then probably the Meltrati are also compatible.
I mean, they're female Zentradi, so yeah, they're fully
Are they?
compatible.
Or are they a completely different race? Because you don't just name somebody
No,
for not being a
because
completely different race.
no, because remember that in the movie, Max and Maria and Milia get together as well.
Yeah, that's what I said, though. You're
And
not
in
defeating
fact,
my argument. I'm saying that they're also genetically compatible.
yeah,
So, saying that those two got together just agrees with me that there might be 3 different races. Or 4, again, if we're counting the evil. By the way, I
I
love that concept. I'm half human, half evil.
guess.
I think you're 100% evil then. Probably. Ah, man. Again, I'm going to have to go back over it just to figure out the whole evil thing because, one, nobody talks about the Supervision Army anymore, and I really want them to still be a thing. I want them to show back up. You said you haven't seen Macross Delta, right?
No,
No, you didn't, or no, you have?
no, I haven't. I saw
Okay.
Frontier
Which
and the
is
movies
next, right? Macross Frontier is
Yes.
after this? Right.
After we do all the OVAs here, I think we jump to Frontier.
Right. So at the very least, I could still be saying stuff that could happen even if you don't think it will because you haven't seen the last thing yet. Which is, I
Yeah,
guess, for the best, right? If I say something and you're like, no, I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen, at least it's not coming from like Frontier being last. Because then you'd be like, well, that never happened before. Well, hopefully you're not telling me any of this anyway. But
I mean, I wasn't expecting this, so yeah.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen 7 either, so.
Well, again, that my read on that is that the Proto Devlin aren't gonna fucking show up ever again. That this is a one and done deal. Oh man, now that you put that in my head, my next thought is that we don't Zentradi them, right? They don't become part of the thing. They're not like half Proto Devlin running around anymore.
Well, I mean, what they're trying to do here, they're saying the message, we have to put the Pro Devlin back to sleep. So something happened with the anima spiritua, right? That it's what makes them go to sleep again. And they're trying to get awake.
Right,
so the
but
way
you
you
might
defeat the Proto Devlin is to put them asleep. And if they're asleep, they're not an issue anymore.
You might remember that some of my earliest stuff was literally about how we could keep them around. The whole idea of like spiritua being infinite. Well, I mean more so from the I can't remember my exact thoughts at the top of my head. The idea being that we created peace with the Zentradi through our culture, and that was going to be a similar element here, where we sway them over to our side, and the fact that we have essentially an infinite resource, and that if negotiated properly, this could turn into something like a blood bank situation that we store spiritua. Like people just donate their spiritua, not enough to like put them into a depression, like we saw with Alice Holiday, but like, hey, give us like 10 spiritua, and we'll give you like food bank bucks or something. I don't know, but I mean that could conceivably happen. How many millions of people did we create at the end of Space War One enough to colonize not just the whole fucking Earth again, but every
Multiple
random
planets.
planet? Yeah. I mean, take the entire human race and then add in a little bit of outreach. And I
Also,
guess,
you have the Zentradi as well, which probably be in the millions,
yeah,
too.
but they would fuck everything up. You know, it would be Proto Devlin, because we all know about it. We've never talked about it before. And we would go into, like, we try to overthrow the government once they show up. And, you know, they would fuck everything up. We're going to keep it a human thing for right now.
Yeah, but I think
We'll
it's
start schools and camps to let the Zentradi know about how to deal with Proto Devlin.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be. I think what might happen is you're gonna end up with a handful of Proto Devlin that are gonna suck around, like Giggle and maybe Sybil, and
You know what?
then everyone else is gonna go back to sleep. Basically,
My example now, what I think, and it's not even what I think is going to happen. Best case scenario now that you've put in my mind that we're going to put them to sleep, and the idea that possibly you've hinted to me now that they're not in future shows, is Dax. They're going to be Daxes. Well, because we know they can inhabit bodies, like Civil or whatever Giggle.
Oh,
is
like
up to.
the Tribble,
Trill.
The Trill, yeah.
Daxes. We have like a Jadzia Dax situation, which means that they're rare, but they could be out there just like people, you know? And then when the host body dies, they could just like pass on to the next person. All they need is Spiritua. Apparently they can take that when they want.
Pretty much.
I don't know. I like the idea of the protoculture. I mean, I'd like it more if they talked more about themselves, but you know, it's just like interesting. They're like powerhouses. They're like like a Spock. Like have a Spock on your crew, a super powered person who's really smart and lives a long time.
I think in the pro culture, what they have is not that they're super powered; that they have high advanced technology.
No, I'm talking about the fact that
the Proto Devlin, on the other hand, would be the super powered.
Did I say the wrong name?
Yeah, I said Proto culture.
Oh yeah, I meant Proto Devlin. Like Civil can just fly through a spaceship, and you know, she apparently super strong, impervious to bullets, can suck out Spiritua from her ears. Just you know, she is your Data and Spock and all that combined into one character. You know, hey Max, there's this thing coming at us. Jump out the airlock, Civil. You know, big cool addition.
Yeah.
And you know they're going to be super rare, so it would be like a Data situation. It's just like one until, you know, Gabble shows up, which is lore in this scenario, I guess.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, we have 12 episodes to go. It seems to be ramping up unless we spend another 5 episodes just marinating about what the message in the temple is.
No, we're obviously getting whatever the spiritual farm is. We're in the barrier, which I just referenced an episode ago. So, yeah, no, it feels like we're in the payoff state, that we're ramping up to whatever makes everyone think Basara is the number 2 character in all of Macross. I mean, obviously, he won the poll for us. Not for us. I mean, on the channel, he won the poll. You went with Minmay? Was that your choice?
I think I went with Chad and Apple, in fact.
Yeah, that was a weird bet. I picked the evil one. Obviously, I picked Sarah, because Sarah's still my favorite. She had a human quality to her that nobody else seems to have. And that she acted human.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. I'd hate to say that Sharon Apple was the most human of us all. It would have been
No. Mayun, maybe, but...
I don't know. I think Sharon Apple was more human than Basara.
I mean, yes.
Sharon Apple knew what she wanted.
Yeah, but she got it from Mayun, so...
That doesn't mean anything. That'd be like saying everything you got from your dad. You know? Just because you're like a genetic copy of your father doesn't mean that you are your father.
Sorry.
No, I'm just taking it as you're physically sick by the idea of being your dad.
Yeah.
Anyway. Anything else to add before we end up here?
Not really.
Alright, well, once again, I have been Theta, this has been Lessons, we have been Stone-Faced Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?